I don't know when I met him personally, right? It may have been Madrid, or it may have been New York, or it may have been even Barcelona. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember when I met him as a student of architecture, when I met who is Norman Foster, was precisely in the writings of Rainer Banham, who was specifically writing about the high-tech architects, the British high-tech architects, and it's precisely through the space of the page, through the space of discourse, that I met the work of Norman Foster. And I will say that this is actually typical of architectural discourse. This is a space of discussion in which you meet architects way before you meet them in person, if you ever meet them in person. Of course, there are all these historical figures that you don't meet in person. But you share a lot of ideas and speculations and even emotions, and in many ways a space in which nothing is off limits. Well, since I am a historian, the thing is that we think about the impact always in retrospect, right? And in that sense, it's a little bit premature to talk about the impact because he's doing still so many things, right? And in that sense, for me, the most important thing is the continuous and relentless raising of questions. And in that sense, I'm a great admirer of the foundation, precisely because of the continuous raising of questions from a younger generation, from multiple voices that come to the foundation, to the institute. And so it is like he is putting seeds in the ground, right? And we don't know yet what will emerge of this seeds. But many of the questions that he is seeding is precisely very important questions for our time, like questions of climate change, and they go back, in fact, if you think about his earlier work, to his concerns with energy, with ecology, except that now has become more urgent, perhaps, or more global, right? But it's very interesting to me that the foundation is becoming also a school, because I think that's what teachers do, no? Try to to put the seeds for something to grow, and the great impact of his work we will see later. I mean, as I said before, I think the foundation is a place to ask questions, relentlessly ask questions, and to constantly welcome new voices that ask again new questions about the future of our cities, the future of our lives. This is very important labor. I'm terrible about forecasting the future. I'm a historian, so my work is almost the opposite, but I will say that really transformative architects have always stand side by side with really transformative historians. And in that sense, it's very important that they influence each other, because how can you think about the future without reassessing the past? In fact, during this interview we have done that several times, right? Because I cannot think about Norman Foster without thinking about his earlier work, and I cannot think about him without thinking about his predecessors, right? So I think the past and the future are intermingled. And where I don't talk about the future in the work that I do as a historian, I think many people pick up things that have to do with the future. I suppose there are many. I don't play favorites with Foster or with any other architect. I'm more interested in the relationship between buildings, in the questions that each building raises, as we were discussing before. But if I were to mention one, it would be the Salisbury building, because I don't know, because of the surprise that represented to me as a student in the mid-70s of something that is at the same time standardized but unique, that is impossibly long but somehow light, that is incredibly modern and still modern today.